and we'll be having Kishwar Desai ji in conversation with Dr. Seema Raizada. Yes, calls for an applause. Absolutely. स्वागत तालियों से ही करना चाहिए.
You know, Siddharth, the cinephile in me devoured Lady Kishwar Desai's book, this one in one go. Because, of course, the story of India's first international superstar, the beautiful, the talented, with just the right lineage, Devika Rani. And she arrived on the film scene with great aplomb and went on to almost rule the Bombay talkies. And Lady Desai will speak more about it in her session. Lady Kishwar Desai has been awarded and recognized for her work in art, history and literature, both in the United Kingdom and in India. She's an award-winning author, playwright and historian. Her sixth book, The Longest Kiss, The Life and Times of Devika Rani, recently received an award from the President of India for the best book on Indian cinema at the National Film Awards, and is being made into a feature film by a leading studio. Her debut novel, Witness the Night, won the Costa Award for the best first novel in the UK and Ireland. Apart from cinema history, Lady Desai has been working on colonial history as well, and her book Jallianwala Bagh 1919, The Real Story, won critical acclaim and led to exhibitions in India, UK and New Zealand at the centenary of the massacre. She's the chair of the Arts and Cultural Heritage Trust that set up the world's first partition museum at the historic Town Hall, Amritsar, and won 7 awards. As a playwright, her play, Devika Rani, Goddess of the Silver Screen, has received standing ovations everywhere that it was staged. Her first play, Manto, on the life and times of Saadat Hasan Manto, won the TAG Omega Award. Before turning author and playwright, Lady Desai worked in print journalism and then moved on to television as an anchor and producer. For over 20 years, she worked in that space. Very glad to have you here, ma'am.
That is certainly quite a profile. ताली होनी चाहिए please एक बार उनके लिए दोबारा. And as the discussant, we are delighted to have Dr. Seema Raizada with us, जो भी भोपाल में literature पढ़ते आए हैं, English पढ़ते आए हैं, या शेक्सपियर पढ़ते आए हैं, वो शेक्सपियर के भी फ़ैन हैं और साथ ही साथ सीमा जी के भी उतने ही फ़ैन हैं. मैं बताता हूँ क्यों. Dr. Seema Raizada ji is a professor of English at the Maharani Lakshmibai Government Girls Postgraduate College.
We are already running short of time.
But still, I would just like to mention that's very gracious of her. She has also found the Shakespeare Festival in Bhopal itself. She is also the founder of Club Literati, which was recently rated as one of the India's top 10 literati clubs. We are delighted to have you with us. Top 5. Top 5, yes, even better. So I would request the ladies to please begin the conversation.
Thank you so much, Parul and Siddharth. What a wonderful evening. And Kishwar ji, welcome to the 7th edition of Bhopal Literature Festival. We are so delighted to have you and to be in conversation with the lady about the first lady of Indian cinema, to talk about Devika Rani and, of course, the Indian cinema then, and let's see how much time we have now. So, Kishwar ji, you know, your works have already been introduced. I mean, you started with play and then you went on to write books on social issues. That is, the fiction books, they were, you know, they dealt with the exploitation of women. So you have always been somehow engaged with the society, and while you wrote your non-fiction books, which included the Jallianwala Bagh and Darling Ji. Darling Ji happened to be the story of the iconic pair Nargis and Sunil Dutt, and then came to write The Longest Kiss about the life and times of Devika Rani. So tell us, what made you choose your subjects, and also what excites your imagination, what triggers your sensibility, so that you are able to bring forth all that you aspire to be you can put that into words.
पहले तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपने मुझे इधर निमंत्रण दिया आने का, जिसके लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत हार्दिक धन्यवाद करती हूँ। और आप सबका भी जो बहुत पेशेंटली वेट किया है, आप सब ने इंतज़ार किया कि हमारे लिए, सो आई रियली thank you, because I hope your wait will be worth it, because we are talking about a very very iconic woman here, as you've already said, Devika Rani, जो इस देश की, not only was she the first lady of Indian cinema, उन्होंने actually एक तरह का professionalism लाया उस ज़माने में। और अब मेरे सामने बहुत ऑडियंस जो बैठी हुई है उनकी उम्र ज़्यादा नहीं है, इसीलिए मैं यही कहूँगी कि ये कहानी करीब 100 साल पुरानी है, because she started her career in the 1920s. But very quickly to move to the, जो आपने मेरे से पूछा कि ये जो तरह तरह की कहानियाँ मैं लेती रहती हूँ सारे टाइम, कभी सोशल इश्यूज़ पर, कभी सिनेमा पर, कभी हिस्ट्री पर, आई थिंक ये कुछ इस हद के से जुड़ी हुई है ये बात कि मैं एक जर्नलिस्ट थी एक ज़माने में, तो प्रिंट मीडिया से स्टार्ट किया था और हमें हर एक दिन एक कहानी लिखनी थी, स्टोरी लिखनी थी, कहानी नहीं, फैक्ट। तो जब वो ढूंढने का समय आता था तो वो कुछ भी हो सकता था, इट वॉज नॉट नेसेसरी दैट वॉज वी वर स्टिकिंग टू वन थिंग। चंडीगढ़ से शुरुआत की थी, छोटा सा शहर, और वहाँ पे फिर मैंने अपने आप को सिखाया किस तरह से लिखना है, किस तरह से आगे इसको करियर हम बनाना चाहते थे। पर क्या हुआ कि टेलीविज़न में चले गए, बहुत साल टेलीविज़न में काम किया, एंड माय लास्ट जॉब वाज एज अ CEO ऑफ अ टेलीविज़न चैनल। पर वो बहुत कमर्शियलिज्म आ गई थी और मुझे इस बात का बहुत बुरा लगता था। आई हैव सम कॉलीग्स सिटिंग हियर फ्रॉम द NDTV, जहाँ से मैंने इस करियर की शुरुआत की थी। तो मज़ा तो खूब आया था, पर प्रॉब्लम ये थी कि वो साउंड बाइट, वो एक चीज़ होती है साउंड बाइट। अच्छा, आप क्या 2 सेकंड या 3 सेकंड या मे बी 30 सेकंड में अपना पूरा हालात हमें समझा सकते हैं, और ये मैं खुद करती थी, बिकॉज हम एडिट करके वो शायद 30 मिनट की बाइट उसमें से ले लेते थे। दिस यूज टू वरी मी, बिकॉज जब हमने शुरुआत की थी जर्नलिज्म में, वी हैड वांटेड टू गो इनटू द डेप्थ्स ऑफ द स्टोरी, वी डिड नॉट वांट टू बी कॉट अप विद दिस व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्स, वी वर मच मोर सीरियस अबाउट व्हाट वी वर डूइंग, और सो वी थॉट। तो मैंने सोचा कि क्यों नहीं किताबों के थ्रू जो चीज़ें हम कहना चाहते हैं उसको इन डेप्थ में जाएं। तो जो सोशल इश्यूज़ मैंने शुरू में लिए थे, दैट वाज रिलेटेड टू जेंडर, और जहाँ से मैं आती हूँ पंजाब से, वहाँ पे फीटिसाइड एंड इन्फेंटिसाइड एंड द डिग्निटी विच गर्ल्स शुड हैव वर अफेक्टेड बाय द पेट्रियार्की। सो मेरी जो पहली नॉवल थी, इट वाज कॉल्ड विटनेस द नाइट, and it was a social thriller as they call it now, पर वो लिखी गई थी करीब 10-15 साल बाद पहले, और अभी भी ये समस्या है, ये अभी भी हमारा जो जेंडर रेशियो होना चाहिए था नहीं है। पर मैं एक बात कह दूं कि जब आप नॉवल लिखते हो ना, तो लोग उस समस्या के डेप्थ्स में जा सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि हम एक कहानी पढ़ रहे हैं और बहुत अगर उनको पसंद आ गई तो दे रियली बिगिन टू डिस्कस द इश्यूज़। मैंने कितनी न्यूज़पेपर में स्टोरीज़ लिखी होंगी जिसका मेरे को कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं मिला, पर जब मैंने ये किताब लिखी, वो दैट ट्रैवल द वर्ल्ड, कितनी लैंग्वेजेस में वो ट्रांसलेट हुई, उसको अवार्ड भी मिला इन द UK फॉर द बेस्ट फर्स्ट नॉवल। सो मुझे ये बात से थोड़ा कुछ सीख मिला कि इफ़ यू आर पैशनेट, व्हाई नॉट जस्ट टेक इट एंड गो अहेड। सो इंडियन सिनेमा में भी मेरा इंटरेस्ट था, तो डार्लिंग जी लिखी गई, विच वॉज अबाउट नरगिस एंड सुनील दत्त। और ये भी मैं ये कह दूं कि मेरी सारी किताबें, ये जर्नलिस्ट का एक होने का एक तकलीफ भी, आप बोझ भी उठाते हो कि हर एक चीज़ को आपको रिसर्च करना है। मैं रिसर्च कर के पागल हो जाती हूँ कभी कभी, और इतनी सारी मेरे पास कटिंग्स एंड किताबें और यहाँ वहाँ की डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज, ये वो
You have
subject-
mentioned that in
हाँ,
your book, yeah, as
तो
well.
डार्लिंग जी के लिए भी कोई
Exactly.
50 घंटों की मैंने इंटरव्यूज़ ली, और फिर इंटरव्यू लेना तो एक बात है, फिर उसको ट्रांसक्राइब भी तो करना पड़ता है।
So we'll ask about your
Yeah, so that's how
the
it is.
efforts, what you put into the managing the records.
हाँ.
But tell me first, what made you feel interested in cinema,
Cinema.
after that. And, world of cinema ऐसा होता है जिसमें बहुत आपको juicy stories मिलती हैं, बहुत glamour होता है, there is so much of mystery, curiosity associated with the stars. And also we are always eager, they always find eager readers, cinema की story होगी तो. So this is not very easy, I would say, किश्वर जी, because जब आप कोई ऐसी realm में लिखना शुरू करते हैं जिसमें बहुत कुछ लिखा गया है, and more importantly उसमें बहुत कुछ सही भी नहीं है, there is a lot of gossip. So how did you manage, because writing about Devika Rani again, it was must have been a difficult task, as you said. And also then, how did you, and I remember, I remember to have read this in the book, when she said that, record को research करना है, and then उसमें से आपको, you have to sift, छाटना है, आपको कंगालना है. So I would, I remember what she writes, that, when she would spread her papers right on the dining table, Lord Desai would just get an edge of the dining table to have his food. So this is the kind of dedication and the research that, she has put in this book. And so tell us about this particular the story, and how did you actually stumbled upon, she literally actually stumbled upon the box of reels, the Pandora's box. Tell us about that.
हाँ जी, ऐसा है कि जब मैं इस किताब के बारे में मैंने सोचा भी नहीं था एक्चुअली. मैं तो नरगिस पे रिसर्च कर रही थी, और आई हैड गॉन टू द नेशनल फिल्म आर्काइव्स ऑफ इंडिया, और ये भी 10-12 साल पुरानी बात है. अब तो खैर आई एम श्योर इट हैज़ बीन डिजिटाइज, इट्स ऑल बीन सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रॉपर्ली, आई होप एंड प्रे, फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड. क्योंकि जब मैं गई थी उस टाइम अपना ये नरगिस पे रिसर्च करने के लिए, तो टेप्स हर जगह पे ऐसे फेंके हुए थे, आप कहीं भी जा सकते थे, हाँ जी ये टेप हमें देखना, तो उठा के आप खुद ही जाके वो स्टीनबेक को जो है प्लेयर उस पर लगा के आप देख सकते थे. मतलब यूनिक सिनेमा, मतलब इस समय का, मतलब जो मैं जैसे बात कर रही हूँ, जो आर्काइवल फुटेज उनके पास है कमाल का है, पर जिस तरह से उन्होंने उस टाइम में रखा हुआ था, इट वाज अ लिटिल सरप्राइजिंग, बिकॉज इट्स लाइक अ खजाना, इट्स रियली. तो देन देयर आई केम अक्रॉस द फिल्म्स ऑफ हिमांशु राय, दैट इज देविका रानी's फर्स्ट हस्बैंड, और उन्होंने कुछ साइलेंट सिनेमा बनाई थी विच वर इंटरनेशनल हिट्स. आजकल आप कहते हो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिव्यूज़ दैट मैन गॉट, इन जर्मनी, इन यूके, इन यूरोप, इवन इन द यूएस. मतलब आज के ज़माने से आप कंपेयर कर लो कि जो हमारी फिल्में बनती हैं, कोई देखने वाला ही आपको मुश्किल से मिलेगा बाहर. शायद अब थोड़ा माहौल बदल रहा है, नेटफ्लिक्स आ गई है वो, पर उस टाइम ये सिंगल इंसान ने इतना कुछ किया था. सो आई गॉट इंट्रीग्ड, और जब मैंने उनकी बाद की फिल्में देखी, जब तक देविका रानी भी आ गई थी उसमें, मतलब they were making cinema together and she was on screen, and I said my God, what a luminous beauty. तो मैंने उधर पूछा लोगों से कि मुझे कुछ दो. मुश्किल से आर्काइव्स में से मुझे कुछ 3-4 डॉक्यूमेंट्स मिले हिमांशु राय के बारे में, देविका रानी, and I was appalled. I said it cannot be true. There must be more stuff out there, and I have to get it. Anyway, खैर वो सारा कुछ मैंने बाकी की किताबें लिखी, बहुत कुछ किया in between. फिर सोचा कि इसके रिसर्च कैसे की जाए. तो देविका had a very interesting life. She started her career, actually started her life in India, but then went to London to study. And so her connections with India were more or less severed. And then when she went to Bombay Talkies, जब उन्होंने, मैं आपको यही बता रही हूँ कि कितना मुश्किल था उनकी आर्काइव्स ढूंढना. फिर एक अचानक एक बहुत स्ट्रेंज बात हुई कि हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया जा रहे थे कुछ काम के लिए. माई हस्बैंड हैड सम वर्क एंड आई वाज गोइंग अलोंग विथ हिम. तो वहाँ पे हमें बताया गया कि एक आदमी है जो हिमांशु राय का, ही इज़ एन ऑस्ट्रेलियन बट ही इज़ हिमांशु राय's grandson. तो आई वाज लाइक हेलो, ये कैसे हो गया? ही इज़ अ वाइट गाय एंड ही इज़ हिमांशु राय's grandson. फिर बात निकली कि हिमांशु राय की एक हैड एन अफेयर विद अ जर्मन लेडी इन द 1940s. वहाँ से एक बेटी पैदा हुई नीलिमा. वो फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाके सेटल डाउन होती है और इनके पास देविका रानी की सारी आर्काइव्स आ जाती हैं. So I was thrilled. I said, wow, you know, सारी archives, they showed it to me, very tantalizing. ट्रंक भरे हुए थे, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पड़े हुए हैं. एंड बट वो सिर्फ हमसे कुछ $1 million या कुछ ऐसे मांग रहे थे कि आप ये दे दो और सारी आर्काइव्स आपकी हैं. सो आई सेड ओके, दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग. पहली बात तो आई डोंट नो आपको इतनी सारी आर्काइव्स कहाँ से मिली, पर दूसरी बात ये है कि आई एम सॉरी, आई एम जस्ट अ पुअर ऑथर. मेरे को मुश्किल से अगर कुछ पैसे मिल जाएं फ्रॉम माय पब्लिशर टू राइट दिस बुक, आई एम अ हैप्पी पर्सन. सो anyway, वहाँ से शुरुआत हुई. Then I was determined, and one thing I think all of you know, that when you really want to do something, and मैं शाहरुख खान जैसे नहीं बात कर रही हूँ, मैं सच्ची बात कर रही हूँ, दिल से अगर आप चाहते हो तो वो हो जाता है. वो सारी कायनात आपको blah blah blah. But this is actually true. This is actually true. It's happened with me many times, but particularly with this book. So कहाँ मैं जाऊँ, किधर से मैं archives लाऊँ? It was very strange. Everybody who had the archives wanted money. तो मुझे कुछ archives गोवा में मिले, वो भी पैसे मांग रहे थे. फिर I went to New York, and in New York I knew her second husband second husband Svetoslav Rorik. He was a son of Nicholas Rorik, who's a very famous artist. आपने शायद उनकी paintings वगैरह देखी होंगी, drawings देखी होंगी. और फिर उधर गई, उनकी एक म्यूजियम है वहाँ पे. It's like a center which he'd set up. और वहाँ पे ढूंढते ढूंढते मुझे कुछ सामान मिला देविका रानी का, which then became the basis of this book. But apart from that, I also did many interviews in Bombay. I went to Bangalore. I went to meet her family in Kolkata. So it went on for 10 years. But जो last bit आपने पूछा है, किताब, चलो material तो मिल गया, but 2 बड़े-बड़े suitcases भरे हुए थे. Time ही नहीं मिलता था एक किताब लिखने के. COVID. I have to thank COVID humbly, because हम घर में बैठे हुए थे, कुछ करने को नहीं, झाड़ू पोछा वाली भी नहीं आती थी, तो I could spread my papers all over the house, you know, and work in peace.
Yeah, so that is what Kishwarji writes, that it was a very painful process, but at the same time the result is very happy. We know that it's a lovely book. So coming back to Devika, the persona of Devika Rani, no, again, I mean, she is, the way she is being described, not portrayed, but because these are the facts. She's shy, but she's very young. When all these episodes begin happening in her life, she is in her early 20s. And, of course, then married to Himanshu Rai, much older than her. And then, she also goes through a lot. It is not that it was all hunky-dory. She is abused. She lived, both of them, Himanshu Rai and Devika, lived a life of penury, of, disparagement. Later on, of course, so much of disparagement to Devika. So the beginning of her life and her coming to terms with the reality, the kind of life she would ultimately lead with Himanshu Rai, and then both of them coming back to India to set up the first ever Bombay Talkies. So how do you visualize this? Not that she is any fantasy character, but her character nonetheless looks so, fantastical, at the same time so very real. And at times we also feel, the readers, they feel so relatable to this character. So all put together, how do you see the character? I mean, if you can just throw some light on how you were able to bring out this character.
देखिए, पहली बात तो ये है, हर ऑथर के लिए आई फील ये बात समझनी बहुत ज़रूरी है. देयर इज़ नो ब्लैक एंड वाइट इन दिस वर्ल्ड. हम सब समझते हैं कि हाँ, जो हमारी हेरोइन है वो शी हैज़ टू बी एब्सोल्युटली प्योर, शी हैज़ टू बी एब्सोल्युटली स्वीट. जो हीरो है बिल्कुल हीरो जैसे होना चाहिए, उसमें कोई विलन नहीं होना चाहिए. मतलब नो ब्लैक character, no blackness, no darkness in his heart. But what has always fascinated me is that in life there is no black and white. और ये देविका की कहानी बिल्कुल इस तरह की है. वो लगती तो, if I urge you to look at her just get a photograph, look at her. She is beautiful. She is like that porcelain beauty. और पर उसके पीछे इतनी what should I say, struggle है, कुछ भयंकर बातें भी हैं. I was literally shocked जब मैंने वो चिट्ठी पढ़ी जो वो Svetoslav को. So most of my book is based on letters that she has written to Svetoslav. उनका कुछ 2 साल का लंबा और बहुत ही what should I say hot romance था and which the world did not know. मतलब ज़माने को कुछ पता नहीं था because वो बहुत she was a widow by then. She was about 40 plus years old. So she was still wearing that white sari और सबके सामने बहुत demure and all that. But she was having a very, very big affair with Svetoslav, who was at that time in, he was, I think, Kullu Manali में थे. I was just saying that maybe some of you have been to that Kullu Manali में Rolex का जो है उधर. तो I think अभी it's just featured in the Republic Day parade में भी उन्होंने शायद एक झांकी वहाँ की बनाई है कि उनका जो घर था वहाँ पे जो Svetoslav और Nicholas Roerich का घर था. So it was a very passionate romance, but उसमें वो बताती है कि in her first marriage, when she was the star, she was made to work like really hard and often कहती जब मुझे बुखार भी था 102, 103, I was being forced to dance, I was being forced to act in the, उस ज़माने में air conditioning तो थी नहीं. I'm talking about the 1930s. In front of those lights, जो बहुत ही मतलब they were really difficult to work under. And so it was something that she talks about in these.
You may read.
हाँ जी, I can read that
passage, yes.
her letter. Yeah, that's a good idea. So when I saw this letter, I was completely appalled because जैसे आप सोचते हैं आज की जो heroines हैं, वैसे ही हमने भी इसके बारे में सोचा था. I was ill, 102, 103 fever, and I was unhappy. But I was used to Mr. Franz Osten, a German director and a German cameraman. They had an international team, by the way, in Bombay Talkies. They knew how to take work out of me. They were very kind to me and never got angry or were unkind. Janmabhoomi during Mr. Austen's time was not nice. I was very bad in it. I don't know why, but Himanshu Rai, was always angry. And when I saw his face, I used to get frightened. This is her own husband she's talking about. I thought he would give me the usual thrashing for not doing good work. My spirit was cowed. I never showed him I was frightened. I behaved quite gay. I was too ill then. I had malaria. If an artist, however small, is frightened dearest, you can imagine and understand nothing comes, no inspiration. So one day, what Himanshu does is gets so angry, he takes the script and just hits her on the face so often that she falls to the floor and she is sort of almost faints. However, she doesn't give up. And the reason being that she herself had trained herself and had lived with Himanshu Rai by the time this happens. Almost, they had been together for almost 7-8 years, and they had this passion about making great Indian cinema. Having sacrificed so much, and it's very easy to see that in her letters, she never wanted to just walk out, and say, okay, I give up. And she didn't want the world to know that it was such a terrible life that she was leading, and literally at the mercy of this man who was slowly becoming an alcoholic. And also, so there were many, many tragedies that started taking place in Bombay Talkies, and she had to face up to all of that. And the main thing about her was that she did not give up. She was a survivor. So for me, it was a huge shock to hear about this domestic abuse. But being Devika, I just want to add a little bit of a twist in this story, because that's what makes a life interesting. So, ठीक है, तुम मुझे मारो, पीटो, जो मर्जी करो, but boss, एक दिन मेरा भी आएगा. So what she did, I mean, it's remarkable how she's thinking all this in the 1930s, when women were not supposed to do these things. So एक जो उसकी आई थिंक पहली तो कर्मा थी, उसके बाद एक फिल्म बनती है जिसमें देर इज दिस रियली रियली हैंडसम गुड लुकिंग young actor who comes, Najmul Hassan, and he is really striking. तो वो फिल्म बनती ही नहीं, ख़त्म ही नहीं हुई है, और वो दोनों वहाँ से भाग जाते हैं इकट्ठे. So Himanshu is left high and dry. This is her revenge. That if you push me too much, don't forget, there are other guys who want me. You may not want me. So she runs away with him. The whole studio knows. It's not hidden. In fact, he goes chasing after her to Calcutta and then persuades her to come back. Because by then, Bombay Talkies, their studio has been set up. She is the face of Bombay Talkies. She is the face of the cinema that they're making. Investors are coming forward. Investment in those days in a studio was unheard of. But he's managed to persuade people to invest. अगर उसकी heroine ही भाग गई तो पूरा का पूरा डूब जाएगा. So he persuades her to come back, and that is how she manages to get a very important position, and he can no longer abuse her that the way he used to. इसमें एक दो और बहुत interesting चीजें हो जाती हैं, पर I can if with your permission, if I can just quickly tell the audience, the biggest plus point to come out of all of this was the discovery of Ashok Kumar. So क्या हुआ था, क्योंकि आप अशोक कुमार को तो जानते ही होंगे. I think some of you are pretty young, but I think जो पीछे बैठे होंगे वो तो जानते होंगे. Yeah,
Ashok Kumar and his brother Kishore
Yeah,
Kumar.
so he used to work in the sound department. वो बहुत शरीफ, बिल्कुल shy सा एक बंदा था, and he was not at all interested in coming in front of the camera, and he was scared of Devika. जब वो आती थी एक तरफ से, वो अपना साइकिल लेके वो दूसरी तरफ भाग जाए, because he used to think she's a man eater, literally, कि वो कुछ ना कुछ उसको कर देगी. ऐसे ऐसे शिविर करता था. We have shots of the films they were to do together in which he's literally shaking like that when she comes near him. So therefore Himanshu had this very well thought out plan. The next hero she acts with has to be completely charisma free. He should not be at all attractive. He should not be somebody that she is going to jump on, or he's going to jump on her. And उसके लिए उन्होंने अशोक कुमार को choose किया, and it was a good decision because actually Ashok Kumar became a very good actor, really a good actor, and they did some fabulous,
along with
fabulous,
Leela Chitnis.
yeah, Leela Chitnis के साथ भी, और फिर देविका के, पहले तो देविका के साथ ही, and they did some Achut Kanya, for example, those kinds of films which are really meaningful, again socially very relevant films, and he did that, and he was a big discovery. So they became comfortable with each other, and that was one of the biggest things which happened
Absolutely.
with Bombay Talkies. But it also meant that Himanshu's star began to decline. He was not able to firstly take this public humiliation कि ये उसके साथ भाग गई, और फिर दूसरी बात, he has to now
Pressure of, the
pressure.
funds,
Yeah.
fundraising was another
Exactly,
problem. Yeah.
exactly.
So in the midst of all this, when you were talking about Devika Rani and Himanshu Rai. Devika Rani was described as Iron Rose. I mean, this woman who went on to, she was a great grand niece of Rabindranath Tagore. And when she came into this filmy dunya, she was like the one educated one, and she educated one in the sense she came from a very good family. And women those days, actresses, I mean, they came from with different backgrounds. So somebody like Devika Rani, who's for no reason, I mean, what Kishwarji just mentioned, because she stood so tall amongst the men around her, the surrounding men around her. So described as Iron Rose. And of course, she went on to get that first Dada Sahab Phalke award too. So Devika Rani, establishing herself not only as a very successful actress, but also alongside Himanshu to take up the responsibility of Bombay Talkies. So now coming to Himanshu Rai, I mean, that is again, the way you have described the entire filmmaking process, this is something, and that's why what I told Kishwarji also. So this book is not just about Devika Rani or Himanshu Rai and the love story or the fallout and another, love story, but it tells so much about the times of, those times when filmmaking was almost like an adventure, I would say, full of risks. I mean, the kind of episodes that the book has, the problems that they had with fundraising, getting the actors, directors, later on producers on board, and getting, educated. I mean, incidentally, Devika Rani always wanted educated women, women from good families to act in films. At the same time, interesting, once they were there, she didn't feel very happy about it. She was a little envious. She would get a little envious of those women. So all this, happening in the background of what was, and that's again, a very good, I should say, the skill with which she has woven the stories, because all this in the difficult times of the first half of 20th century, when the world was affected by not only, whatever was happening around the world war itself, and also what was happening in India. But very skillfully, very delicately, I would say, you have kept the political world very much in the background and this one in the forefront. So just a little bit about Himanshu Rai before we move on to a couple of other issues.
See, I think हमारा देश जो है ना, हम अपनी हिस्ट्री हर बार भूल जाते हैं. मतलब वी हैव टू रीइन्वेंट आवरसेल्व्स एवरी डे, बिकॉज हमें याद ही नहीं कि हमने कल क्या किया था. और जो 100 साल पुराने लोग हैं उनके बारे में तो भूल ही जाओ. तो अभी हम बहुत एक्साइटेड हो जाते हैं, हमारा कोई प्ले वेस्ट एंड पे आता है या कोई बाहर के थिएटर में किसी की फिल्म दिखाई जाती है. दीज गाइज हैड डन इट ऑल. मतलब कि मैं अब बात कर रही हूँ 1920s की, 100 साल से भी ज़्यादा. और जब हिमांशु उधर गया, he was actually a lawyer, but he wanted to he didn't actually go to the bar or anything. Most of the time वो acting में ही मशरूफ था. तो अपनी फैमिली से पैसे लेता था, जो भी करता था. Now एक नंबर का बदमाश, as far as we can tell. He was very, very bright, but to be crazy about anything, you just have to be a little clever, and you have to manipulate everything to make it possible for you to make that film. Producers today are also the same as they were when Himanshu started. So we can't blame him for his passion, because एक तो वो Indian, दूसरा वो उधर बैठा हुआ है लंदन में, वहाँ पे वो फिल्म बनाना चाहता है, और फिर वो भी गोरों के साथ. He wants to make an international movie. So he had a big ambition. Fortunately, by his side was Niranjan Pal. वो बिपिन चंद्रपाल का बेटा, the big revolutionary, उसका बेटा. A very, very talented theatre person. He used to write the most excellent, and they were actually staged on West End. So both of them got together and they made a film called The Light of Asia, which was on the Buddha. And it had an international release, and also the crew was international. Germans थे उसमें, British थे. और it was wonderful because finally they were on the map. तो वहाँ से उसने शुरुआत की, पर उसका फॉर्मूला बहुत सिंपल था. फॉर्मूला ये था कि आप बाहर वालों को वो दिखाओ जो वो इंडिया के बारे में देखना चाहते हैं. वो सांप देखना चाहते हैं, हाथी देखना चाहते हैं, जगलिंग के एक्ट देखना चाहते हैं, फायर वॉकिंग देखना, ऑल द ओरिएंटल स्टफ दैट यू कैन थिंक ऑफ, साधु, स्नेक चार्मर्स, ये वो. तो उसके आसपास आप एक स्टोरी बना दो, सुपर हिट. So that was a very simple formula, the Orientalism which they followed in all their films, one after the other, very successful. So when he met Devika Rani, and of course he saw her as a future, face for his films, जो पहली फिल्म उन्होंने बनाई थी कर्मा, sorry if I can just jump the gun, जिसकी वो फोटो कवर पे है, where you can see the kiss, the longest kiss. At that time, it was considered the longest kiss. Karma was a film in which actually the screenplay writer was Devika. She was never given the credit for it. And I'm very lucky, जब मैं उसका वो आर्काइवल मटेरियल जो मुझे मिला था, उसमें से ये स्क्रिप्ट निकली, जो उसकी खुद के हाथों से लिखी हुई थी. पर उस ज़माने में, and this is not unique to her, many of the well, whoever was, if it was a female screenplay writer, they were never really ever given the credit. पर ये सांप का scene उसने भी लिखा. I'll just read out to you how this plays in her own words. तो जब आप स्नेक चार्मर डालते हो ना, तो एक बात तो सही है कि जब स्नेक किसी को काटेगा ना, तो एक ही तरीका है उसको ठीक करने का. आप एक दूसरा सांप लाओ और फिर वो काटे उस आदमी को, एकदम से ठीक हो जाएगा. So this was the logic, okay? But you know, you could just put any old Oriental stuff into these films and people were ready to buy it. So the cure and the words of the snake charmer, as written by Devika, remain in the film. Do not fear, great lady. He will recover. I have a cure. The same snake will bite him. ये भी नहीं कि कोई और snake आएगा, पर वही सांप आके उसको काटेगा. I will play my melodies and will attract that very snake. It is an old cure, the snake charmer tells her. The snake charmer tries many snakes and at last gets the right one. It crawls towards the prince's leg, and to her horror, the princess sees the snake biting the prince. She screams, and the snake charmer gently removes the snake, saying, "Look, great lady, his eyelids move." "Yes," says the princess, and without restraint embraces the prince, uttering at the same time sweet endearments. It was this scene, these are my words, in which Himanshu lies supine on the ground, while Devika without restraint showers kisses on him, which got written about as the longest kiss in Indian cinema. It was a pretty one-sided kiss, as Himanshu lies knocked out by the snake bite on the ground, and it lasted, I've timed it, it lasted all of 2 minutes, so it's not very long. For some
say even
reason...
5 minutes. Some say it's 5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah. For some reason, most people imagined it was at least 5 minutes long. I think they were so shocked to see an Indian woman lying on top of an Indian man in full public view. It didn't matter that they were married. And so it must have seemed pretty lengthy. So Himanshu had this formula, which he had made into a very successful one. पर आप समझ सकते हो कि ये फॉर्मूला बाहर तो चल सकता है, पर जब इंडिया में आया, it was a flop. Nobody wanted to go and see this film called Karma. So they had done, actually for them, another very unique thing. 2 versions. One was in English. By the way, this was one of the first talkies to come out, 1933. So it was very fascinating. Anyway, so they come here, he tries very hard. He goes to, wo bhi, as I said, very chalu. And he goes to whoever were the most important people in Bombay. That time it was the British. He could get Devika to charm all these, the governor, this one, that one, whoever it was. So the investments started coming. Next to the British were the Parsis. Because they were very close to the British. And Chimanlal Setalvad and so on, you know, that very eminent lawyer, जिसने जलियांवाला बाग का भी case fight किया था. So he becomes the chairman of Himanshu Rai's new production, new studio, which is called Bombay Talkies. So he gets hold of 4 or 5 Parsis to invest, and after that, the sky's the limit. They begin to make their cinema till all these other things happen. Very quickly, I also want to say that because they have a lot of Germans working with them, they have both been trained abroad. Sorry, I've not given you a little bit more of the background. Is after they meet in the UK, Himanshu is that way they're very particular about their art and craft. So they go to Germany and they work in a studio and learn all the skills. Now remember, I'm talking about late 1920s, early 1930s. This was not what most people, they never wanted to learn. Hanji, camera le lo aur shoot kar lete hain. This was the Punjabi style of making films. But these guys were much more committed to their art. They learnt it, came back, and they wanted to apply it. Along with them, to their credit, came a German team. But this was during the World War, so before we know what, the German team is locked up. And they're considered to be Nazis. So that act by the British, who were at that time ruling India, as you know, in the 1940s. And so that was actually the last blow to Himanshu Rai. And he went into a decline after that. And for Devika, it was a struggle, but then she became the boss of Bombay Talkies after him.
Right. Thank you so much, Kishwar, for throwing light on that. And talking about Devika, of course, there is one, and Himanshu, there's another character in the book, that is Svetoslav. And the letters, as Kishwarji mentioned, that they are all addressed to Svetoslav, and through them there is so much insight that has come into the book. When finally Devika, she leaves Bombay Talkies, and she is all set to go to Svetoslav in Kulu. This is a beautiful passage, which few lines only, which I would like to read out here, with your permission, Kishwarji, because it actually gives a, gives a very positive perspective on Devika. She has been in the film industry, but then she is also a woman who has several facets to her character. And one of this is something spiritual in her, and that makes her connected to Svetoslav, who and his family, they were quite spiritual and very, very settled. So this is towards the end of the book, and beautiful, all set to be with Svetoslav. She writes in her letter, God in his infinite mercy has given me my life, new, completely new. Never have I known such beauty, and now having his love, which is you, my dearest heart, I must live up to it. I must live up to it and treasure it. I must build it. When I say I, it means we, one and together as sacred in our marriage, in our church, before Jesus, our Lord, we shall make it our treasure. None shall come to know our temple, our worshipping place, our bond. They can only be able to see the light which will shine as an inspiration. God has brought us together and married us because he wishes our love to shine and bring hope to many a lonely soul, to make many a broken heart feel that goodness is still in this world. Love is still possible. Marriage can still be a wonderful thing. So this is how the main book ends, and only the epilogue which is left after this. So beautifully written, Kishwarji, congratulations for that wonderful, giving this wonderful perspective on women, on men, on Indian film industry, the Indian cinema, and what we now talk as Bollywood. I had, of course, one question to ask her, but then now we open to the audience. If anything has excited your imagination and some
Wow.
query to come from you.
Yes, right. Pass on the mic, please. You can identify yourself and then go ahead with your question.
Hi ma'am, my name is Upasna. So I wanted to ask you, Madhubala has become very popular even in my generation thanks to social media sharing her story and her films being available on YouTube. So if there is any movie which we can get our hands on of Devika Rani, then which one would that be?
I think आपको अछूत कन्या तो देखनी चाहिए, because that remains relevant till today. And there is some really great acting both by her and by Ashok Kumar, and very good music as well. So, and a message, of course. So, I mean, that it does not have a very happy ending, but I won't give away the game away. I won't give the game away, so please do watch that.
Yeah.
They're all available on YouTube. आप देख सकते हो, आराम से देख सकते हो. Most of these films, even Light of Asia and so on, you can download them, you can watch them. It would be a good idea because it's a different era, a different world. By the way, you'll find her speaking the Hindi language with a very with a very British accent, but it's okay because मुझे नहीं मालूम था तुम ऐसा करोगे, you know, is the way they used to speak. So that's fine, but she had to train herself in Hindi because she was not a natural Hindi. She was a Bengali and then she'd lived abroad most of the. So very courageous of her to do it, and she did it perfectly. And she sang beautifully. That was the other thing.
Thank you so much. Next question, please.
Hello, hi Kishore ma'am. My name is Prakar and I'm an independent writer researcher of cinema and cinema history. First thing I wanted to ask you is, did you get a chance to watch Vikramaditya Motwani's Jubilee and how did you enjoy it? If you have.
Do you want to say anything further or should I just comment?
I can ask all the questions together and then
Okay.
we can take it up. The second thing I wanted to ask was if you also have kept up with the Bombay talkies in present. So there's a studio that's popped up and they're claiming to take forward the legacy of Devika Rani, Himanshu Rai, and it's depressing. If you have not, I would recommend please don't. It will break your heart, but I wanted your opinion on that. And thirdly,
I'm so sorry, Prakar.
Long questions,
I'll have to
yeah.
stop you at second question. We are running out of time.
I'll come
So
back to you
sorry.
after the session for the third
Yes.
question.
हाँ जी, I saw Jubilee, and while it's got all the merits of a good series and so on, but that's not the story of Devika. I mean, it's like completely at a wrong trajectory. Absolutely not her story. And the most important point in that, चलो आप कहानी का जो मर्जी तोड़ मरोड़ को जैसे भी कर लो, but she was a survivor. The death of a lover was not going to be a setback for her because she had many lovers. And some of them went away. वो बेचारा नजम का वो तो बिल्कुल ही बेचारा कहीं गुम्मी हो गया after that wonderful affair he had with her. She did not sit and cry about him. So basically, even after Himanshu died and other men that she was involved with in the studio as well, these were not heartbreakers for her. For her, she had a clear path. She was an ambitious, professional woman. And she used to say that. She says that in her letters, that, I have worked my entire life. So, I'm going to take this forward. I'm not just going to sit back and, even when things would really get bad, when Ashok Kumar and everybody walked out of Bombay Talkies and they created Filmistan, another rival studio, it didn't break her. She carried on producing. So that's my biggest grudge with Jubilee. It's given the wrong impression of Devika Rani. Not only her life, it's all wrong, but that bit was particularly wrong.
Thank
Sorry,
you so
and your
much.
second question was? Sorry. Oh, no second questions. Yeah.
You can answer the second one. I was just refusing to the third one.
Third one.
Can we have one more question from anybody else?
Oh, there's
Yes,
one
वहीं से हाथ खड़ा
gentleman
हुआ है.
here.
Yes, mic वहाँ पे पास कर दीजिए. Last question.
हाय मेरा नाम सचिन है. मैं जर्नलिज्म स्टूडेंट हूँ और आपने बताया कि एज अ जर्नलिस्ट वो सेटिस्फैक्शन होता नहीं जब आप कोई किताब लिख रहे हो और उसमें जब तक डीपली रिसर्च ना करें. मेरा सवाल ये है कि जब आप रिसर्च कर रही होती हैं या जब आप रिसर्च कर रही थी इस किताब को लेकर के, तो वो था कि यार और इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाए, लेकिन किस हद तक जाकर के आपको लगा कि नहीं, क्योंकि जब मैं इधर रिसर्च पे टाइम लगा दूंगी तो बाकी चीजें भी लाइन अप है तो वो नहीं हो पाएगी. तो क्या रहता है जब बहुत ही मन करे कि यार और भी इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए लेकिन हमें बैक टू वर्क जाना पड़ता है क्योंकि जल्दी किताब निकालनी और वो सारी चीजें.
Okay, thank you.
तो इसमें जी दो बातें होती हैं कि आपका खुद का एक स्टोरी लाइन, जैसे आप रिसर्च करते हो सीरियसली, एक स्टोरी लाइन आपके मन में जहन में डेवलप हो जाता है, तो आप उसके मुताबिक आप चल रहे हैं और आपको लगता है कि हाँ मेरे पास इसके बारे में अब है, इसके बारे में है, दीज आर द 5-6 इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स आई वांट टू कवर, आई हैव ऑल ऑफ दैट. दूसरा, पब्लिशर की मार, बिकॉज अगर आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया होता है जैसे मैं करती हूँ, तो फिर एक डेडलाइन तो उनकी भी होती है कि चलो आपने फर्स्ट डेडलाइन मिस कर दी, आई वाज वेरी बिजी विथ रिसर्च, ये हो गया वो हो गया, दूसरी डेडलाइन मिस हो गई, पता है क्या हुआ घर में, ये वो तीसरी डेडलाइन जब आप मिस कर जाते हो तो आपको पता है कि ये किताब, इसकी भी एक जिंदगी है. यू नो, इट मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स यू वर्क ऑन हैव अ लाइफ. यू कैन नॉट जस्ट कीप ऑन डिलेइंग इट. So it's better that once the combination of those two things happen, and then you'll reach your decision.
प्लीज गिव राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज. यहाँ बैठे बैठे हम एक दूसरे जमाने में चले गए. थैंक यू सो मच किश्वर जी एंड सीमा जी. मैं चाहूँगा निहारिका सिंह जी इस मंच पे आए, द मेंबर ऑफ सोसाइटी फॉर कल्चर एंड एनवायरनमेंट. मैं चाहूँगा वो इस मंच पे आए और एक मेमेंटो द्वारा किश्वर जी और सीमा जी का अभिवादन करें. एंड जब उनका अभिवादन हो, मैं चाहूँगा हमारी तालियों का साथ उन्हें मिलना चाहिए. This is a painting by the Padma Shri Bhuribai ji, who is a renowned Bhil artist. This artwork was created for BLF 2025. It depicts the connection, right there, see, depicts the connection between nature, earth and the human beings, collectively the environment, with our existence. What a beautiful memento for the Bhopal Literature and Art Festival 2025. Thank you so much, dear ladies. एक और बार जोरदार तालियां for that wonderful discussion. आपके सवाल अगर रह गए हों तो प्लीज मेक श्योर कि आप उनसे बातचीत करें, उनसे रूबरू हों, उनसे पूछें. वक्त की अपनी सीमा है और मुझे उनका ध्यान रखना जरूरी है. माफी चाहूंगा अगर किसी को मौका नहीं मिल पाया, पर there's always a second chance. And